allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, class of 2020. I am so very proud to be a part of tonight's celebration of your incredible achievement. Graduation, this time when you turn the page from childhood to adulthood, this time when you acknowledge and reflect on the struggles and successes that led you to this moment, this time when you share your joy in these accomplishments with your family and your friends. And for the class of 2020, your graduation is a time where your entire community, your entire state, this entire nation is fixing their eyes and hearts upon you to lift you up in praise of your reaching this milestone. These extraordinary times have proven that over and over again, when we face a tremendous challenge like we have with this pandemic, we come together, although at a distance, to rise above our circumstances. Your class has had to persevere and rise above countless challenges throughout your past 18 years, both big and small. These challenges have been the fire that has forged you into the person you are today, ready to go confidently into your next chapter, ready to be a leader for your generation, and ready to make your unique imprint on our world. In our school system history, the class of 2020 will be remembered not for the unsettling times that surround you, but for being a class that demonstrated incredible resilience and fortitude. Your class is certainly Snow Hill strong. When you look back on this time in your life, years from now, you won't remember the disappointments or grieve the loss of a formal graduation ceremony. Instead, you'll remember the creative ways you and your peers were able to reach out and connect with one another. You'll remember that while your graduation was anything but traditional, its distinctiveness is what will set the memory apart in your minds. For many of us, the memories of our high school graduations have faded long ago, but your class, more than any other, will remember your commencement. As I close, I want to leave you just a few pieces of parting advice. First, if today's circumstances have taught us anything, it has taught us to keep close the people we hold dear. I hope that when you look back on this time, you'll be reminded of how meaningful it is to hug a loved one, and you will keep those important connections alive. Today at your commencement, I want you to look around at the loving faces of your family and friends who have supported you along your journey. Today is a day to celebrate with them and thank them for their love, support, and guidance. Second, go out into your next chapter unafraid. While these are uncertain times, know in your hearts that you have what it takes to overcome any obstacle in your path. As I said earlier, your achievement today is a demonstration of just that. And third, be sure to live your values each and every day of your life. Know what you stand for and don't compromise that integrity. All too often I see young people become disillusioned by the world that surrounds them, but not this class. I know that the class of 2020 has the strength of character to see what is broken in our world, call it out by name, and then work to change it for the better. So, I close by wishing you all congratulations on all of your esteemed accomplishments. You have made all of us so very proud, and I have no doubt that you will continue to do so. I wish you all the best on these next steps in your journey, wherever they may take you, and may God bless the class of 2020.
Good evening and welcome to the first and hopefully the last ever Snow Hill High School virtual graduation. Though at first we were saddened and frustrated that our graduation had to proceed in this format, upon reflection, it seems appropriate. From the beginning, this class has been unique. We were born in the wake of 9/11. We have been the smallest yet one of the most highly honored classes to walk the halls of Snow Hill schools. And we end our school careers as the COVID kids. It is only appropriate that our graduation reflect the uniqueness of the class of 2020. As with many other obstacles we have faced, we will soar higher through this challenge with grace, dignity, perseverance, and of course, our own personal spin. Graduation marks the culmination of one small phase in our lives. It is the grand finale to our participation in a 13-year educational system. It is the end of a certain carefree way of life and possibly the end of many friendships. However, receiving our diplomas also marks the beginning of a bright future. It marks the beginning of a new way of life, of a new independence, new friendships, and many new learning experiences. While some of us will be immediately entering the armed forces or the workplace, many of us will be continuing our education at institutions of higher learning. Thanks to the excellent instruction and motivation given freely by the teachers and administration in the Snow Hill school system, we are well prepared to soar into the future that awaits us. Tonight marks the official departure of the class of 2020 from the halls of Snow Hill High School. Rest assured, we have left our mark here, as the school system and town has marked each of us. As we journey out into the world, we will carry the lessons we learned here with us. The class of 2020 has marked their own path from beginning to end. May our futures make you proud and the memories we leave behind bring a smile. Welcome to our one-of-a-kind graduation. Thank you for celebrating with the class of 2020.
Snow Hill High School Senior Class of 2020. Family, friends, teachers, mentors. We have come together in this non-traditional way to honor the magnitude and significance of this day. Let us recognize the hard work that my fellow students have accomplished and contemplate their long, prosperous, and fulfilling careers as citizens of the world. I ask that you take a moment and reflect with me on the true meaning of today's graduation services and ceremony. Today's achievement marks a fond farewell to yesterday and a warm welcome to tomorrow. Let us remember the family members and friends that could not be here with us today and those who are gone, but not forgotten. It has been a true honor to grow and learn with you. In closing, whatever your belief, faith, or denomination, please call upon all that is good and right in the world to be with us all as we celebrate the great accomplishments of these graduates of Snow Hill High School's class of 2020. Thank you.
But To my fellow classmates and friends, this is it. Everything we've done for the past 18 years has led us to this very moment. As I am speaking to you all right now, it is only fitting to address the elephant in the room, an elephant that has stripped us of any normalcy surrounding our commencement. I know that this topic should be the emphasis of my speech to you all today, how this unconventional time has brought our class closer together. However, that is not what I'm going to talk about today. Today is a time to celebrate, a time to recognize each one of us for the accomplishments we've made in high school. They say that this is the first step towards our future, but we took that first step many years ago. I think back to all those years ago when many of us were together at Snow Hill Christian Nursery School. It's ironic to think that even after going to a different school for so many years, that I would be back here on graduation day, addressing so many of those kids that I began my journey with. Being such a small class, we have always been close. Whether that is a good thing or a bad thing is for you to decide. We've laughed together, cried together, and shared countless memories that I know none of us will forget anytime soon. To my class, the soon-to-be infamous class of 2020, it is our time to be celebrated. For 3 years, we have watched classes have commencement and be celebrated for their accomplishments. Right now, I challenge you to stay positive in this time of worldwide negativity. Today is our day, and let us relish in the fact that this chapter of our lives is coming to a close and a new one is just beginning. I love you all, and just remember, we soar higher. Thank you.
Times, as of late, have been extremely difficult. For a number of reasons, I think it goes without saying really. Under such extreme duress, I believe that we have been confronted with a number of truths which before were not in the forefront of our minds. Chief among these is the fact that we need each other. Humans, despite all our prowess, are extremely flawed. While other animals may develop quickly at birth, we poor humans are left completely helpless. It's not a set it and forget it deal for mom and dad, it's a commitment, and a tough one at that. You stood firm through our terrible 2s, fearsome 4s, sanity-stripping 6s, the list goes on. From crawling to walking to schooling and beyond, it is your love that has allowed us to succeed. Parents, as we journeyed from grade to grade and school to school, you put a great deal of faith in us and our abilities. No matter if we struggled, complained, or pretended we didn't care, despite our minds taking the occasional stroll, you always knew our hearts were in the right place. As our parents, you nurtured our talents and values with a gentle yet stern hand. You shared your experiences with us and aided in the creation of our own. Now, we all share in this moment together. Though we may now be leaving the nest, do not be afraid. Your time and commitment has readied us to soar higher in scholarship, ownership, achievement, respect, and life in general. On behalf of the class of 2020, we would like to thank you for your dedication to each of us. Though the best laid plans of mice and men may oft go awry, parents will always be there to provide shelter. Once again, thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ethan Casto, and I'm the Vice President of the Snow Hill National Honor Society. In 1912, John S. McMaster created the Old Home Prize with the intention of encouraging students to write about the rich cultural history and heritage of our Eastern Shore. Mr. McMaster was an accomplished teacher and lawyer who was born and raised in Pocomoke and spent his childhood in the Worcester County area. While he eventually relocated to New Jersey as an adult, he never relinquished his love for the shore and created the Old Home Prize as an appreciatory gesture. At commencement each year, one graduating senior is given the honor of receiving this award. The graduating senior must be recognized as summa cum laude, and he or she is chosen for the number and extent of their extracurricular activities. The recipient of the award must then present an original essay on the topic related to history of the Eastern Shore. Tonight's recipient has been a 4-year member of men's soccer and 3-year member of wrestling. For the past 2 years, he has served as a freshman mentor to help guide his peers to the same success he has achieved. He is also a member of National Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, Worcester Technical Honor Society, and he is the vice president of the Snow Hill Beta Club. He has participated in Future Business Leaders of America as the club's treasurer and Skills USA. After high school, he plans to continue working in his family business. It is my privilege to introduce tonight's 63rd Old Home Prize recipient, my brother, Tayeb Ijaz.
Thank you, Ethan, for those kind words. Hello, my name is Tayeb Ijaz, and I am proud and honored to be named the Snow Hill High School Old Home Prize recipient for the class of 2020. First, I'd like to thank everyone at SHHS, our individual families, and the Snow Hill community as a whole. They have not only supported my fellow graduates and I throughout our childhood, but especially over the last 2.5 months as we navigated the end of our high school careers in such uncertain times. Your support has been invaluable, and we are grateful to live in a community like Snow Hill and the Eastern Shore during a crisis such as this. Speaking of the Eastern Shore, what does the term Eastern Shore actually mean? Many of us have lived here on the Eastern Shore our entire lives, yet we never seem to think about how, in a literal sense, and to maybe those who are unfamiliar with this area, that the term Eastern Shore technically refers to the entire east coast of the United States, spanning from Maine to Florida, the Eastern Shore of America, really. And perhaps maybe for the people who don't actually live here, the term and the actual Eastern Shore itself is nothing special. That it's just a place with a whole bunch of chickens and crabs with a popular beach. To all of us, however, the Eastern Shore is a small region of the world that we call home. It's a place where one can regularly expect to get stuck behind a combine or tractor going down a highway surrounded by seemingly endless fields. It's a place where almost everyone goes boating and fishing or surfing and swimming. It's a place packed with essential trips to Ocean City and Assateague to enjoy the beautiful beaches and complain about the tourists. But to me, the Eastern Shore is especially characterized by the grit of its people. From teenagers all the way up to retired individuals at every age, the people here work incredibly hard and persevere through anything and everything that may occur. Farmers working against the weather always find a way to get their job done no matter what Mother Nature throws at them. Fishermen and crabbers get up early and stay up late, getting beat down by the sun and water, never quitting. High schoolers spend their entire summers working in Ocean City to accommodate the thousands that travel from all over the world just to vacation in an area that we call home. Even our retired folks here seem to work until it's physically impossible to work because of this very special grit that comes with living on the Eastern Shore. I can say with full confidence, the class of 2020 will continue this tradition. Being raised on the shore has instilled this grit in each and every one of my classmates. In the last few months alone, we have shown our strengths and abilities to work well through adversity, and we will continue on this journey that is life with grit, because as eagles, we will always soar higher. Thank you.
Anyone familiar with Mr. Carlton Cartwright knows he comes from a huge family of 11 children. If you happen to know a Cartwright anywhere on Delmarva, more than likely they're related to him. As the second oldest of the 11, Mr. Cartwright has been responsible for younger children. Consequently, it's only fitting that he chose a career in which he continues to take care of young people as a public school educator. After completing a Bachelor's of Science degree in elementary education from Salisbury State University, Mr. Cartwright began his Worcester County career in 1998 while sharing his love of English/language arts with 6th and 7th graders at Pocomoke Middle School. He earned a master's degree in school counseling from Wilmington University. In 2014, he transferred to Snow Hill Middle and embarked on a journey through 7th grade ELA with the class of 2020, sharing his love of poetry, quirky vocal impersonations, and witty, though painfully corny dad jokes. The next school year, he was afforded the pleasure of spending yet another year with this dynamic group of young people as their middle school counselor. From hours spent together during lunch duty, he has spawned memories of making meaningful connections with students and getting to know a different side of them. Some of his favorite moments occurred when he got to belt the happy birthday song to students on their special days. In 2018, Mr. Cartwright transferred back to Pocomoke as a high school counselor to be closer to his wife Tanya and their 4 vivacious young children, Gabrielle, Drew, Cooper, and Chandler, who definitely kept their parents busy and reminded them of how young they're not. Even though Mr. Cartwright relishes his work at Pocomoke High, he has not forgotten his days soaring with the Eagles, because they were undeniably good days that made quite an impression on him. He looks forward to seeing Snow Hill students and family, mostly in Pocomoke Walmart, and catching up on what they're doing with their lives. Mr. Cartwright was rendered uncharacteristically speechless when he was asked to address the class of 2020 for their commencement. However, he accepted the honor to share in this momentous occasion with former students. He hopes to say something that they will remember for years to come.
Congratulations, class of 2020. In the midst of a global pandemic, in the throes of an international emergency, you completed high school. Surrounded by flattening curves, shelter-in-place orders, and jumping feet first into continuity of learning, you did it. Wearing gloves and masks and washing your hands over and over again and again, you finished. While the adults were busy buying up all the toilet paper and hand sanitizer and shopping online to avoid crowds in stores, you made it happen. Without a senior prom or class trip, without a senior skip day or spring sports, amid face-to-face celebrations turned virtual and a bunch of other things canceled, closed until further notice, or simply left undone, you graduated. Kudos to you. Reflection upon our collective experience over the past few months brings me to the first of 2 points I want to leave with you today. Recognize your blessings. It would be great if I could tell you that this crisis through which you're currently living will be the only one you'll experience. Honestly speaking, though, that's not the case. However, if you learn to recognize the blessings or opportunities that arrive amid each crisis, you'll be much better off. About a week or so before schools were closed in March, my daughter Gabby and son Drew were having a conversation in which Drew said something to the effect that I was fired from my job. I don't have a clue how I came to that conclusion, but Gabby replied, "Daddy, I hope you get fired." Taken aback, I asked her why she felt this way. Her heart-rending response was, "Then we can spend more time with you." Well, the Lord must have heard my little girl's cry, because soon thereafter schools were closed and she and her brothers had plenty of time with me. While I've noticed many educators lamenting missed opportunities to spend time with and say goodbye to students, and parents bemoaning hours at home all day long with their children, or expressing discontent about graduating seniors missing this event or that occasion, I've chosen to look at things in a different way. During this time, I'm blessed to work from home, giving me plenty of opportunities to learn and grow with my young children at a time in their development where they really need me. Don't get me wrong, I understand the world is chaotic, in turmoil right now. I too have had to quickly learn many new things at one time. Like so many others, I've also had to immediately change the way I've done things just because of the pandemic. However, by choosing to focus on the blessing of time I've been given to fulfill my responsibility as a father, I'm taking advantage of the opportunities that have arisen from this crisis. If you think about it, you've also experienced blessings in this time. Though you've been separated from friends and family because of stay-at-home orders, didn't you find ways to stay connected through FaceTime, Zoom, or simply talking to each other more on the phone? In spite of having to practice social distancing, didn't Snow Hill High staff bring at least a little joy to your day with the delivery of yard signs to let you know they missed you? Didn't the closure of schools bring you the blessing of more time to sleep in, make a little more money on your jobs, or binge watch shows that have been sitting in your Netflix watch list for months? These are examples of opportunities of which you took advantage during these difficult times. As you encounter similar crises throughout your life, continue to focus on the blessings in each of them. The second point I want to leave you is simply a reminder to keep doing what you've been doing. Leave your mark. You may ask, well, Mr. Cartwright, how do you know we've left a mark? Or what have we been doing that has made a lasting impression? Well, when your teacher refers to you as ham bone, pork chop, or Roberta, when that's not really your name, I'd say there's a story there which signifies you've left your mark on them. When faculty say you are a class of quiet influencers with incredibly passionate hearts, confidence that makes people look up to you, and teams that are going to really miss your leadership, I'd say you've left your mark. How about your flaming red hair and beautiful smile that has brightened your teachers' days, along with you making the hard work of the weight room fun, bringing a good joke to tensely awkward situations, or offering a much-needed hug or a simple good morning? I'd say that's evidence you've made quite an impression. defenders of humanity, as you've been called, I'd say you've left a stamp on the spirit of Snow Hill High because of your courage to step in to help a stranger and your tender, beautiful hearts that make others feel comfortable in potentially distressing situations. Class of 2020, you've definitely put your spin on things as amazing artists and performers who keep the class up to date on the latest music, dazzle audiences with your spectacular choreography, and challenge yourselves to learn how to play the tuba or other low-tone brass instrument. The mark of your character has been etched on the hearts of your teachers as you've worked tirelessly for causes you love, volunteered to rake leaves and pile branches when no one else would, freely helped a family move in the middle of July, and demonstrated passion for healthcare during clinical experiences at the nursing home. See, there is plenty by which you will be remembered. You have indeed left your mark on the Snow Hill community. As you enter the next chapter of your life and settle in communities near and far, whatever your life's work may be, persist in leaving your mark as influencers who brighten the lives of others. Keep having the courage to defend those who don't have the voice or power to stand up for themselves. Don't concern yourself with what marks others make or whether your mark is better or less than theirs. In the words of Theodore Roosevelt, you can only do what you can with what you have wherever you are. Know that whatever mark you make, it will matter. Eagles, as you take flight, remember, crises will come. Recognize the blessings in them and soar higher than each storm. And wherever you land, don't forget to leave your mark. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to the commencement exercises for the Snow Hill High School class of 2020. We are so excited about the accomplishments of this great class of students. On behalf of Mr. Lewis Taylor, Superintendent of Worcester County Public Schools, and the Worcester County Board of Education, I am delighted to say that this class has met all requirements necessary by the state of Maryland to receive a high school diploma.
It will be a long day without you, my friends, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from when we began, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again, we're going off to better things and finding ourselves, leaving this high school, going on to something else. I don't know where I'll find much love, people who care, but I know we will excel with help from above. So carry on, give me all the strength I need to carry on. It will be a long day without you, my friends, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from when we began, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. Oh, oh, oh. How am I gonna live without you? Feeling so small. I'll be one call away from hearing you all. So carry on, give me all the strength I need to carry on. So let the light guide your way. you take will always lead you home, home. It will be a long day without you, my friends, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. When I see you again.
Wow, class of 2020, is this really the end of your high school experience? It seems like it was just yesterday that you walked into the halls of Snow Hill High School for the very first time during your freshman year.
Joshua Allen, Joshua.
Alright, so just Cullen, Anderson Santos.
Which one did I choose? What were the 3 questions?
Over the past few weeks, I am certain that many of you have questioned why our graduation and our senior year was different from those who graduated before us. My response would mirror that of a great children's author who said, "Why fit in when you were born to stand out?"
What I learned being a 2020 graduate is basically don't take things for granted, especially the small things.
It means to me that no matter where life takes you, the people who started with you in the beginning will always be there for you in the end.
It's probably taught me to just cherish the time you have. The time that you do have, make sure you spend it the way you want to and have fun always.
Can't take anything for granted, because whatever good it's going to come, however way it can, and it'll happen.
Being a 2020 graduate has taught me not to always expect, and that you just have to go with the flow and enjoy the moment.
The members of the class of 2020 were born in the shadow of the 9/11 attacks, a time when the world as we knew it forever changed. And now, here you are again, graduating at a time when we are experiencing life through the lens of a global pandemic. You were created to stand up, to stand out, and to stand firm, just like the soaring eagle you are.
What does We Soar Higher mean to me? It means that we can overcome anything that has honestly that we've been faced with. We came into school making history, and we're gonna leave it making history.
We soar higher, exceed all expectations, to soar as far and high as you can possibly go.
For me, I feel like that will help me for pretty much anything going into college. I'm stepping into the real world now, so dream big or go home, reach for your goals.
So being a graduate in the class of 2020 has taught me how strong I am, because trying to graduate during a pandemic brings a lot of unique and different challenges, and after getting through all of them, I am confident that I can get through anything.
When an eagle senses a storm approaching, it flies directly into the storm and uses the wind to rise higher in a matter of seconds. Once the storm subsides, the eagle returns as a survivor. This is who you are, class of 2020. This difficult time has made you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. You are better equipped to lever the uncertainties of this world
and more able to persevere with deeper purpose.
Being a graduate of class of 2020 has taught me that no matter what you go through, you got to keep going. Things might not go as planned, but you still got to go through and finish with whatever you got to do.
Being a graduate in the class of 2020 has taught me that even through all of these hard times, we can get through it if we work together.
Well, Snow Hill High School is a tight-knit community, and the small class size has really allowed me to build some meaningful relationships with some great people. And those people have really pushed me to my greatest limits and reached my full potential. And that's something I really hope to carry on forward, is to work hard at something and really push myself to be the best version of myself at anything I do.
I think it's just taught me to be flexible, that even though sometimes things don't work out the way we want them to, I think that we can overcome that and make the best of the situation we have at hand.
Being a graduate of 2020 has taught me to look at the bigger picture and really be part of a solution. You know, there's so many problems that we can't solve by ourselves, and working together, maybe separating to protect each other or working to fight the injustices of the world can really help change the world.
Of course, it would have been easier to have a traditional senior year and avoided this pandemic altogether, but that's not what an Eagle would do. While others are avoiding the storm, each of you has used this turbulence to your advantage, allowing the strength of your wings to propel you higher. Class of 2020, always remember this moment in your life's journey, and always remember that we soar higher.
So just, okay.
All right, my name's Alexis Kagan.
Ashlyn Elliott.
My name is Edward Fulton. My name's Cole Gursky.
Miss Cartwright, because she has gone beyond her ways and done everything for me. She's done a lot just in general, and over the years she's just put a lot of time and effort into me, and I just thank her for that.
So with Mass Sergeant weekends and the Junior ROTC program, I say this has inspired me because it has taught me a lot of life lessons, coaching, responsibility, and things that I will need to succeed in life.
The people who inspired me are my teachers and my coaches because they taught me a lot and they really helped me get through high school.
I would like to thank everybody in the staff and everybody like Ms. Purvis and everybody that works here, and they've done a great job for me and they really understand me.
Ms. Wallace encouraged me to soar higher because I was always kind of I never really put my full potential in, and then she kind of pushed me to put that more potential in and kind of made me better than what I was.
The people who inspire me most here at Snow Hill High School, I should say, are the entire teaching staff, because no matter what, they helped me through the toughest times. So thank you to all of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.